Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hopefully you are all fine. Now we are going to start our lecture number 5. In last class, what we have learned? We have covered algorithm understanding through some examples, and then we started the flowchart, defined it, and know about the importance of flowcharts. Then we started the uses of flowcharts and we discussed some advantages of flowchart. Hopefully you all understood about all these topics. So now we are going to start today's topics. And what are their SLOs? SLOs are student learning outcomes, means the expectations after covering these topics, what you people have acquired. Students will be able to determine the importance of flowcharts after covering the topic flowchart requirements, and they understand the use of flowchart symbols after covering the flowchart symbol. Then comes the flowchart softwares. We will discuss some free and paid flowchart softwares used to develop the flowcharts. So, what are the flowchart requirements? Flowchart requirements are the information required for development of flowcharts. And what are these requirements? Input needed, processing to be completed, decision to be taken, output to be provided. These are all the requirements which are required for the development of flowchart. Means flowchart developer must know about these requirements, that what are the actual input needed, what processing should be completed, and what are the decisions to be taken, and what actual output is required for which this all problem is going to be solved. First one, input needed. Inputs are required for the processing. Developer must know to determine, and these inputs are determined from the problem statement. For example, if we have a problem to find the area of a circle for the given radius r, here you can see that statement says that find the area of circle. Area of circle is unknown, we have to find it out. For the given radius, this given radius is actually input required to solve this mathematical problem. And what processing to be completed? Second requirement of flowchart, that is processing to be completed. The process is any calculation. First we have to define the process. What is process? Process is any calculation, formula or expression or variable initialization. This process depends on the required output. What required output is required? This processing actually also depends on that output. Example, find the area of circle for the given radius. In this problem, what process is to be completed? Here we assign a static value of 5 to the radius, as the problem says that find the area of circle for the given radius. So this is the given radius of 5, which is assigned are initialized to a variable of or to show the radius in the calculation, and the second process is actual calculation to find the area of circle with the formula pi r square. Decision to be taken. Taking actions depending on true or false value of expression means the decisions which we need to perform during the problem solving depending on true or false value of an expression. For example, here school reopening depends on the authority decisions or notifications. As we are here in online session of learning just because of this COVID-19. So during this lockdown, online classes or online schooling will resume back to its campus education. Our school will reopen. This reopening of school depends on authority decisions. If authority allows, then school will reopen. Otherwise, not. We will continue online sessions. Then going to school trip depends on parent permission. If your parents allow to go to a school trip, then you will go. Otherwise, not. So, going to school trip, this is an action which depends on the true or false value of your parents' permission. If your permission is granted, that is true value. If it is true, you are granted, then you can join the school trip. Otherwise, not. Student result depends on obtained marks percentage. If your marks are greater than or equal to 45, then print pass, else print fail. These are the actions: print pass or print fail. These two actions depends on this expression value. If the expression is true, then after the portion of this then statement will execute it. This print pass will print it. For example, if you get the marks in this assessment 48, which is greater than 45, so it will print pass, else print fail. If permission to go on a trip is allowed, it means if the value of permission is allowed, then print join the trip, else print can't join the trip. So in such way, the decisions to be taken are required for the development of flowchart in a problem solving. Output to be provided. The result, the problem solution which is required for which the problem solving is carried out. This is whole outcome of your problem solving, that what outcome is required. For example, here area of circle, result of students, volume of cylinder to calculate, to find out the value of volume of cylinder. These might be outcome in certain calculations. So outcome must be known well advance for the development of flow charts. So up till now we have learned that what requirements are required for the flowchart developments. There are 4 development requirements. These are input needed, process to be done, and third one, decision to be taken, and what output is required. Afterwards, here come next topic, that is flowchart symbols. These are the special shapes used to represent different types of actions or steps in an algorithm. As we said that flowchart is actually the diagrammatic or figurative representation of flowchart algorithmic steps. So every algorithmic step is shown with a different shape in a flowchart. So according to that, we have different types of symbols, but some of them are oval or pill shape, arrow lines, parallelogram, rectangular shape, a rectangle shape, diamond shape, and connectors. Here, these are certain symbols. Some of the basic standard symbols that we have listed, and their diagrammatic representation is in this table. First column has the symbol, second column is name of symbol, and in third column we have the functions. First column says here, first one symbol that is actually start or end symbol, oval in shape. An oval represents a start or end of your flowchart. Then comes your flow lines or arrow lines. These arrow lines are used to show the flow of command. A line in connector is a connector that shows the relationship between the representative shapes. Means from start, then comes input. So these start and input is connected with this line of connector. Then comes IO or input output of your problem. This input output is represented with the parallelogram. Then what process is required to be done? This process is shown in a rectangular shape in flowchart, and decisional statements are written in diamond shape. So what are the flowchart softwares? Flowchart softwares are application softwares which help us to draw professional and simple softwares, complex flowcharts. So according to these two categories, the simple and free apps to draw the flowchart, we have listed here Draw.io, Creately, and Pencil projects. These are the free softwares available on internet that you can download to draw flowcharts for your problems. Then comes the more complex and paid for these apps we have to pay a certain amount to use them, to download them. That complex and paid softwares for the flowchart development are Glyphy, LearSetChart, SmartDraw, Visio. These are different flowchart softwares. So to sum up the lecture number 5, in today's class what we have learned about the flowchart requirements, flowchart symbols, and we know about the flowchart softwares. Hopefully after this lecture you have understood, you have determined the importance of flowchart, understand the use of flowchart symbols, know about some free and paid softwares. Okay students, if you have any problem, if you have any question, you can ask me in today's lecture. I am here. What we will learn in next class? In next class, we will do flowchart examples and exercise inshallah.